The hottest name on the trade market to date has to be Dejounte Murray from the Atlanta Hawks. And the New York Knicks have been linked to Murray for the last few weeks. But unfortunately, given this latest update from an NBA insider, he notes that the Atlanta Hawks have increased their price. And by the Hawks doing this, it may have knocked the Knicks out of the running for Murray. We're going to break down exactly what this new asking price is and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now and make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The Atlanta Hawks have increased their asking price in any trade for Dejounte Murray, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew with Trae Young being out with the Atlanta Hawks in concussion protocol, which meant that Dejounte Murray was going to have more opportunities to have the ball in his hands. And I knew with Dejounte looking good each and every game, game after game after game, he's been playing well. He's been making buzzer beaters. He's been hitting great shots, and he's been helping the Hawks win. When you're doing all of that, your value is going to increase. And not only that, a lot of other teams around the league have now shown interest in adding Dejounte Murray to their roster. With the Hawks noticing all of this, it was only a matter of time before the asking price increased. And now we have the increased asking price from the Atlanta Hawks. Shout out to Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports for helping to report the following. The Atlanta Hawks asking price as of right now is currently 2 first-round picks and now a starting level player. If you guys remember, NBA insider Mark Stein initially reported that the Atlanta Hawks were seeking 2 first-round picks. That's it. No other player, no starting level player, no bench player, nothing like that. And now the updated price is not only 2 first-round picks, it's a starting caliber player. Now maybe you could make the argument that Quentin Grimes could be a starting level caliber player for the Atlanta Hawks or any team that he goes to. The unfortunate part is, right now, he's not starting for the New York Knicks. He's coming off the bench. And if you're another team trading for a player, you're not going to think about what he did in his past. You're going to think about what he's doing right now. And if they're considering Grimes right now, he's coming off of the bench. He's having a very low productive year for the New York Knicks. His minutes are down for the Knicks. And in all intents and purposes for the Knicks right now this season, he's really not had an impact to winning. You could say a few games, maybe he's helped a little bit. But other than that, you can't really make the argument that Quentin Grimes this season for the Knicks has really helped the Knicks or made them better in terms of helping them win games. Because the unfortunate part is, when he's been open and ready to hit those shots have not gone down and he's not hit them. And a lot of other teams around the league notice that. They also notice his defense, his age, and how good he is on the defensive end. But other than that, they also notice his offense, they notice his shooting numbers, and they also notice his production. And if you're noticing that and you're a team trading for him, you might not see him right now as a starting caliber player. And if that's the case, and the only thing that the New York Knicks are willing to give up in a trade is a couple of protected first-round picks, Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes, and this is the updated asking price from the Atlanta Hawks in any trade that they want Dejounte Murray moved in, then I think it's absolutely clear. If the Knicks did not make a move before because they thought the asking price was too high, they are absolutely not going to make a move now with the asking price updated to now include a starting level player. Now you might be asking yourself, if that's the case, where are the New York Knicks mindset right now? What are they thinking right now in regards to Dejounte Murray and potentially trading for him? Well, thanks to my guy Ian Begley, he recently gave us an updated report on the New York Knicks and where they are in regards to Dejounte Murray and their feelings about trading for him. Per Begley, there are people with the Knicks who see Murray as a strong fit next to Jalen Brunson. But as of late last week, it was unlikely that the Knicks would pay Atlanta's asking price. The Hawks are seeking at least 2 first-round picks in a package for Murray per Mark Stein, a long-time NBA insider. We also should note that the Lakers and Hawks have had advanced talks on Murray, and D'Angelo Russell has been a sticking point in those talks, per The Athletic. Begley makes sure to note the following. The Knicks can meet the price point that the Hawks are asking for if they wanted to, but they seemed lukewarm about the idea earlier this month. Now, I want to mention that was when the price point was 2 first-round picks, not this updated price point of 2 first-round picks and now a starting level player. If they were lukewarm on the idea of trading for Dejounte Murray because of the price point, not because of the fit, not because of the player, nothing like that, because as you just heard, Dejounte Murray, for a lot of people internally within the New York Knicks organization, actually see him as a good fit next to Jalen Brunson. And that's exactly how I feel as well too. That's my shared belief. But the unfortunate part is the Atlanta Hawks are asking for too much than what the New York Knicks are willing to give up in any type of Dejounte Murray deal. And now with this updated request, I don't see a trade happening at all. If they were lukewarm on the idea and it was only 2 first-round picks, then they are absolutely not going to send Evan Fournier, Quentin Grimes, 2 first-round picks, and another starting caliber player to the Atlanta Hawks. It just doesn't make sense to me or for the New York Knicks in my point of view. And I wish it did because like I said, you guys already know, watching this channel as long as you guys have been. If you're a new viewer, I welcome you, but if you've been watching the older videos, you should know as well too. I want Dejounte Murray on this team, on this roster. I think he fits this team like a glove. His value would be increased even further under Tom Thibodeau. I just love his style of play, and I think his playmaking, his passing, the way he could play defense, his height, the way he plays the passing lanes with Jalen Brunson, and if he pulls defenders, meaning the paint is even more open for Jalen Brunson, who's already cooking this season, he would be able to cook even more with Dejounte Murray on the roster. So in my opinion, Dejounte is an absolute steal for this Knicks team if they're able to get him for a reasonable price. But as the Atlanta Hawks continue to increase their asking price for Dejounte Murray each and every day, that's going to likely mean the New York Knicks and Leon Rose are not going to make a trade for him because the Knicks and Leon Rose do not want to make a deal to give up too many assets right now. It's been reported in a number of videos that we've covered on this channel already. The Knicks right now want to add a guard that can come off the bench, help stabilize the offense so Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle can rest. They do not want to give up a lot of assets for a star or superstar trade right now because a star or superstar is not available right now. So they don't want to go ahead and make that move. And if the best player on the table is Dejounte Murray, it's clear they want to get him on the roster, but they don't want to overpay to get him on the roster. Ian Begley said it best here. The Knicks can meet the price point the Atlanta Hawks are asking for, but they seemed lukewarm about the idea earlier this month. And that remains true today. The Knicks can absolutely meet and beat any trade offer on the table that the Atlanta Hawks have right now for Dejounte Murray, if they wanted to. They clearly don't because, again, they want to get that star or superstar player this offseason. If that's what they're willing to do, and if that's the play they're wanting to make, then they're not going to give up significant assets right now. They're going to do what we all expect them to do. Get a very good bench player for this Knicks team that helps Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle rest and that helps stabilize the offense. Once they get that, that's all they're going to need for this season. And if that player has another option on their deal or has another year left on their contract, the Knicks will even be happier to make that deal happen for a trade because that way they can use that player this season to help the Knicks contend and they can help use that player next season in a potential trade to land that star the Knicks have always wanted. But even though I think that the New York Knicks trading for Dejounte Murray is currently dead in the water given these latest reports, I do want to mention one thing because Ian Begley did mention this update and I gotta say it. You know how the Hawks asking price has now been updated to 2 first-round picks and a starting level player? If the Knicks wanted to make this move and they wanted to get a deal done like this, they could potentially get that deal done by making the following type of trade. Shout out to Ian Begley for giving us this update. Murray has a trade kicker, so his incoming salary for trade purposes is $21.6 million. Now, the trade package we already know that's on the table that the Knicks have been dangling out there is Grimes, Evan Fournier, and a couple of first-round picks. But that has not been able to get Murray or really any player of significance on this Knicks team as of yet. But do you notice this last sentence that Begley states here? Mitchell Robinson on his own also gives the New York Knicks enough outgoing salary to obtain Murray. Here's the reason I highlight that. If the Knicks think that Mitchell Robinson is too injury prone, they want to move on from him, they love Isaiah Hartenstein and what he's doing, and they believe in him a little bit more than Mitchell Robinson, what they could do is They could sign Isaiah Hartenstein this offseason. They could flip Mitch right now in a deal for Dejounte Murray, AJ Griffin, and Clint Capella. I don't like Clint Capella, nor do I want Clint Capella. $25 million this season, $25 million next season. However, if you were to do that and you were to include all of those players, it would work. The math would work. And not only that, it would give the Hawks exactly what they want. Mitchell Robinson, starting level player. First round pick, yes, they would have that. Another first round pick, yes, they would have that. And if the Knicks didn't want to give up multiple first round picks, but wanted to give up one first round pick, Evan Fournier, Quentin Grimes, and Mitchell Robinson, because they think Quentin Grimes himself is equal to a first round pick, maybe that's what gets it done. Either way, that is something that the New York Knicks could entertain, and if they wanted, do to get Dejounte Murray and a couple of other pieces on this Knicks team. However, in my opinion, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the New York Knicks are willing to give up Mitchell Robinson right now, given his contract, his value, and his impact under Tom Thibodeau. Because under Thibs, Mitchell Robinson is a beast. And before he got injured, he was having a career year. We all seem to forget that given the play of Isaiah Hartenstein. But we have to mention that iHeart was great, and iHeart is still good. I want to mention that. But when Mitchell Robinson was healthy, he was a beast. He was dominant. And if I can say, the New York Knicks had the best big man duo in terms of defense with Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein off the bench. I don't think you could stop that. The Knicks are being faced with an opportunity right now in terms of if they should trade for a certain player or if they should move on. The problem is a player like Dejounte Murray doesn't always come around. A player like Donovan Mitchell doesn't always come around. Once they're here and an opportunity is there, you have to seize it, because if you don't, you may never get that opportunity again. And if you do, it may not be the same type of opportunity, or you might have to give up more at that point in time to get that same player. You always have to look at opportunity once it's available and in your face, and you have to make a decision. And the decision the New York Knicks are making right now is Dejounte Murray. Even though his value has increased a little bit, it's still low for a player like him and a player of his caliber. But even though that's the case, it's clear, and I think we can say it at this point in time. The New York Knicks have made a decision and picked a direction. They are not going to make a play or a trade for Dejounte Murray, especially with his asking price being increased. They're going to increase their bench, they're going to get more bench help, and they're going to make sure they get another guard that can help the offense once Jalen Brunson is resting off the bench. That's the type of player they're going to be targeting. And if you want to know some names, all you have to do is look at the couple of videos we dropped over the last few days, because we've mentioned Burks, Tyus Jones, Daniel Gafford, Jordan Clarkson, and of course, I gotta mention him because honestly, I think and I believe this is the Knicks' master plan. Malcolm Brogdon. I feel that's the player the New York Knicks are going to ultimately trade for, because everything in terms of the recent reports, where they want to send Grimes, the player that they're looking for, and the type of contract that they're looking for in terms of a superstar trade they're trying to facilitate either this offseason or next year, it all makes sense for them to go after Malcolm Brogdon. Who they're going to go after, though, we'll find out in the next few weeks as you get closer to the trade deadline. But what about you guys? What do you think about this increased price for Dejounte Murray and the likelihood now that the New York Knicks are not going to trade for him? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.